In this video, I'm gonna go over 9 different steps or characteristics that buyers look at when evaluating Shopify stores to buy. So the first question you might ask is, why buy a Shopify store over an Amazon FBA business? You can consider a Shopify business as just selling an e-commerce product on a private website. So that comes with having more control over your traffic, where you can build an email list and you can create those repeating customers, and you're not under this scrutiny of Amazon's terms of services. But at the same time, people with experience selling on Amazon FBA are also interested in Shopify stores, because if they see a business that is already running profitably off of Amazon, so direct to customer, a lot of them feel confident that they'd be able to multiply the profits of that business if they were to open up that new sales channel on Amazon FBA. When I say Shopify, I should mention that I'm not talking about a dropshipping store, I'm talking about owning your actual brand. That said, if you are interested in buying a dropshipping store, you can still use this checklist, but just know that a lot of these points are more relevant towards owning your own brand. So when buyers use the Empire Flippers platform or another brokerage to look through a marketplace of different Shopify stores, these are 9 different characteristics of a business that they'll use to distill down and ultimately decide on the business that they want to acquire. So first, they'll look at the foundational pieces. So number 1 is looking at the overall trend of the business. I'm talking about traffic and revenue here. Is there an overall incline? Is it stable? Is it on a decline? Is it volatile? Is it seasonal? And these will determine what kind of business you're buying. Think about a business that is highly seasonal. That means that you'll be operating a business where a majority of those profits are going to come in, say, after the holidays or whatever the seasonal pattern happens to be. And next is the age of the business. So how many years or cycles has it gone through, for which you can evaluate the history of the business and therefore determine how you think it's likely to perform in the future. Number 3 is, what type of products are being sold? Is this in an evergreen niche? Are these products going to continue to be sold for years to come, or is this more in a fad? Are these businesses kind of susceptible to economic downturns? Other people might call them recession-proof products. Will these products continue to be purchased despite an economic downturn? Also thinking about, is this product susceptible to high return rates or a lot of customer support? And is this product an easy to replicate product, or is it a unique product? And that brings me to number 4, which is, does the business come with protections? So are there trademarks or patents, anything to deter competitors from replicating your product? One thing to look at is if a product is unique, but it's also in a highly competitive market, meaning that there is large buyer volume, but it's positioned in a way where competitors can't necessarily copy that specific product. Number 5, how many SKUs or how many different products are being sold. So if the business has hundreds of different SKUs, this might mean inventory management is going to be more difficult. It's just operationally going to take more of your time or more resources. On the flip side, if this business has only 1 or 2 SKUs, that's another thing to think about, because this could also mean that the business's risk is very focused on those 1 or 2 SKUs. If you have multiple SKUs to rely on, then the business is going to be just better protected. And number 6 is, how much work and what kind of work is involved? How many hours does the current owner spend on the business? And is this aligned with how many hours you want to spend on the business? And the second part is, does the work that the current owner performs, is that a skill set that you would be able to acquire easily, or would that take a lot of resources and time? So something operationally, just understanding how to operate the business, it's completely natural for you to not know how to do that. And for that reason, at Empire Flippers, we expect sellers to offer at least 30 days, depending on the complexity of their business. Certain sellers will offer more support, but the seller will help you during this transition period to help you hit the ground running. Next is look at the traffic and the sales diversity. So unlike Amazon FBA, a majority of your traffic is likely not going to be organic, because your listings aren't on this huge marketplace like Amazon. You want to ask yourself, how is the business driving traffic? This is probably going to be from ads and social media, but it could also be from an email list, or it could be generating some of its sales through B2B or wholesale purchases, or maybe even brick and mortar locations. Next is, where is the business now, and where are the growth opportunities if I were to step in as a buyer? So this is where buyers get really excited. They might see a business with, let's say, an underutilized email list, or maybe certain unprofitable ad campaigns, and maybe you have a specific skill. Maybe you have a specialization in email marketing or running advertising campaigns on social media or on Google, and you can see this gap, this opportunity where if you were to acquire this business, you would apply that, and in some cases immediately increase the revenue. I've seen people come into a business and they have 10x'd the business. You have a business making just $3,000 in profit, you 10x that, you're making $30,000 in profit. So this could be a skill set, or it could be just capital or time that you're willing to spend in order to grow this business. And that brings me to point number 9, which is, are you interested in this business? Could you imagine liking the customers that this business serves? Would you enjoy creating content surrounding this topic? Now, this isn't completely necessary. I've seen buyers buy businesses just because they're good businesses. They're just easy to run, they don't require a lot of owner involvement, and they make a healthy profit. But I will say that if you don't care at all about the business, you don't like the audience that you're serving, you're less likely to do as well as if you owned a business where you did care about the product and the topic. You're less likely to put in that time to grow the business. So what I recommend to speed this up is to go through these 9 steps and think about yourself, what your ideal business would look like using this as a framework. How many hours would you like to spend? How many SKUs would you like to have to manage? Or what kind of team would you like to already see in place that's already managing a bulk of the operations? So when you can answer these for yourself and you have these characteristics lined out, you can go to the marketplace and you can evaluate the Shopify stores from that perspective. And if you want to talk with somebody through this process as you're going through this yourself, I recommend reaching out to our sales advisors. They are a wealth of knowledge. They work with buyers all the time. They know exactly what's on the marketplace, and they're accustomed to trying to match what you're looking for to what they think would be the ideal business for you. So you don't have to go through this alone, and reaching out to them is completely free. There's no obligation to buy anything. So if you're interested, I'll leave a link to that below. And if you are interested more in building a Shopify app as opposed to an e-commerce store, then I'll leave a video here. It also talks about how to increase the valuation of that app if you already own one. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.